Well, first of all, yes. Lori taught me that minions are an essential part of life, so yes. And it's not the only reason I'm having kids, but it is. My 2-year-old I've now taught to get the remote control, to get the. I haven't taught her how to pour a drink yet. I'm working. Waiting a year or two for that. But yeah, she's very helpful when I'm changing the little's diaper. I'll say, go get me one of River's diapers. She'll run in and bring that. She's very, very helpful, much like a minion. And she's still in that phase where she loves mommy. So I always say to my friends, it's like, I'm enjoying this time where she likes me before she hates me for the next 10 years, So, yeah.
Are the complexions a little bit better than your other minions?
Thankfully, yes. Thankfully.
Well, I'm just curious, a lot of actors talk about how they get various parts of their character from their own personalities, and Glory was so complex and powerful, insane, evil, and then the other sense.
Right.
Did any of that? How did you get those aspects?
How did I get those aspects? Well, I'm sure my husband would say it wasn't too hard, but no, really, it's true. I mean, it sounds like a total cliche, but I'm sure you do hear a lot of actors, oh, it's all about finding that little part of yourself. And it is at times, and it definitely is something that I say as well. It's, you want to base anything you do acting-wise in reality. You don't want to just, be randomly pulling stuff out. But with a character like Glory, that being said, I mean, there is a lot of creativity that comes into creating someone like her. And it's kind of taking that teeny little piece of reality and just expounding on it and going with it, much like, I guess, if you were a prose writer and you were writing a book, you'd have a little bit of truth and a starting point, and then you just, expand from there. So that's kind of how I approach that character. Yeah. There's definitely other characters I've played that have been, all based in reality, but she's the most creative, artistic character, if you will, I guess. Yeah.
How much do you actually have in the production of her as a character? How much did you actually say, this is what I want you to do? I guess is my question. What freedom do you have?
Well, I mean, once the words were written, I had a lot of freedom, in terms of I could kind of block it out or say, hey, she should be, why doesn't she throw shoes here? Why doesn't she, be doing this? But in terms of actually being how about she says this? I didn't get into that area of the show at all. I'm sure some of the people who maybe were on all the seasons or, whatever, they may have had the opportunity to meet with the writers and say what they wanted. But for me, I was just thankful to have a job. So I wasn't going to rock any boats and, say, oh, what about this? What about that? I just kind of wanted to flow in terms of that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Yes.
How many core characters do you set
As a new.
and do you get people where you're
Okay. The wardrobe, no, I did not get to keep, sadly. I would love to have used it. Some of it I hated, but some of it I really liked. So yeah, but I didn't. I think they actually sold a lot of the stuff I wore on eBay after the show completely wrapped. A couple people were telling me they bought various things. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. That's nice. And in terms of the rest of the cast, yeah, they've been around. They've been working hard for 4 years, and then I come in, and you know what? I gotta say, did know she was on a show called Buffy. But I really, between Bring It On, I think we finished filming, and I started filming Buffy just like maybe 2 months later, you know, or something. It was like really close.